with an educated opinion on topics of all varieties. Yo, it's your boy Bubba, and you are listening to Bubba's Banter.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am anyway. It's your boy Bubba, and you are listening to Bubba's Banter. Hope you guys are living well, feeling well. I am doing great this week. I had a really great weekend. But I hope you guys are living well, feeling well. You guys know where to follow me at, right? Which is Bubba's Banter Podcast. Also, please follow my personal. If you have questions or anything like that, I really do use my personal a lot more than I use my actual podcast page. I know that's bad to say, but I'm always on this one unless I'm promoting. So if I'm not promoting, and it's something that you want me to respond to quickly, hit me up on my personal. I don't mind it at all. So follow me on The Real Doc Dre. Also, I'm still working on my website. I know that's bad to say too, but I just take pride in doing my own shit. So I've been trying to get in some webinars and learning how to do coding and all that shit because I just want to do my own stuff. I don't want to pay anybody to do it. Maybe that's the Beyonce in me, but I like to do my own shit. But yeah, so guys, I have a reoccurring guest to my show. And the live show that you guys watched, that I got so many DMs from about I literally still have questions to actually to respond to from that live show because it was so I got too many that I just couldn't answer, and some of them were just dumb as fuck too, so not gonna do that. But yes, I have chicken sex degrees. What's good?
Hey,
yay.
This is the package. This is not a fill-in chicken sex degrees.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
The original.
So this is the real duo.
That's what I should have said. The original dream girl. Right.
Definitely.
Well, how you guys doing? How's your week?
We're good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. My week is pretty good. I mean, it's Monday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Been in the bed. I feel like you set me up a little bit because you ain't tell me we was going to be on camera.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? You definitely was trying to be the Beyonce out of this shit, for sure. Because you could have let me know. I still got my nightgown on, y'all. This is trifling.
Wait, no, that is unacceptable.
Fuck it. I know. I need to grow up.
My bad.
Meanwhile, it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock over here in Baltimore, and I still got my nightgown on.
That's true.
I went to the gym today. Shit, I did something.
So
that's it.
I'm not even going to put you out on Jump Street because I don't even want to know, because I had questions after that, but I don't want the answers for real.
That's cool. Yeah, man. This week has been weird for me. So I don't even get too personal here, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So I started dating somebody I want to say roughly about, it's still new though. It's been 3 weeks, but it feels like it's been a long ass time because I ain't never experienced. I think that's
the best.
I've never experienced a person like this before, or I think I've allowed myself to be a dummy
to feel love.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
love with no restriction.
Yeah. So it feel different with this person. But besides that, everything has just been great. I feel like I'm on the up and up right now. Something's good about to happen. So
yeah, you in love. So
right, you on cloud 9, baby. You on cloud 9. Everything.
Every post,
the world could be falling apart, and everything's just my man.
That's what I've been posting.
My man.
That's what I've been posting on every IG post I have. I put my man. It's crazy.
That's the best feeling. That's the best feeling though, when you meet somebody and it just feels like home. You know what I mean? It feels like comfort, like a safe landing, because God forbid you meet one of them motherfucking devils and you just feel anxious and shit.
Oh my God. Always talking about the devil.
I know. I'm always talking about the devil. I be calling I think all men
the
are
demons.
Don't mind me though.
Demons as fuck.
They are. The fuck? But you don't got one, so you just stay right there on your little fluffy cloud.
Yes.
Keep floating.
Yeah. So okay, guys. So I've been doing this show about body positivity for a while now. This is my 3rd show doing body positivity. I want to make it into a series. So the how it got started was that I was talking to this guy named Brandon from the Gay Body Guide in New York. And we did a show and we started talking about body positivity within the gay community and all these things. And it made me like, it sparked something in my head. Like, I want to do a series about like different people, like, you know, genders and sexualities and things of that sort, because I think that body positivity affects all of us in one way or another. And also we can relate to each other on how body positivity affects us. And so I was like, okay, so the second show I did was with 2 gay dudes, and now I'm doing it with 2 women, 2 black women. And so I was like, I feel like it's very, very important to actually like have that conversation about how body positivity or body imagery issues affect black women in our society of today, you know? So the first question I do want to ask is, do you struggle with any body imagery issues or any, like, you know, things of that sort?
Yes. So I just had a baby, everyone. So my body is, thank you. So my body is very different than what I've known it to be most of my life. Yes. Yeah. Juicy, if you will. So personally, I'm just struggling to wrap my head around this new body in general. But I even think before this, like, there are just certain standards of beauty that are upheld within our community, and even just by like the larger population that I don't fit in. So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of a struggle sometimes to separate yourself from what the majority is saying is beautiful and love what you have.
Right.
So yes is the short answer.
Right.
I think for me, like, yes and no. So I think for me, I like, gratefully, I kind of have that like body that is deemed acceptable. You know what I mean? Like the fat ass, like, you know,
right.
So I never really, I don't know, like when we talk about body issues and stuff like that, a lot of times, like, I struggle with, are they feelings that we feel ourselves, or is it feelings that are projected onto us to feel about ourselves?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so for me, like, because I've always been shapely, because I've always had, you know, like the small waist, the big old fat ass, you know what I mean? Ass so big like that. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, I've always gotten like praise for that. You know what I mean? Right. I've always gotten like, oh, you know, people pay to have your type of body, or like men, you know, always love me and always love ass and blah, 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 blah. So for me, it's kind of like, in that sense, that's always been my comfort. So I've never really had issues with my body, but I will say that, like, when the Kim Kardashian started coming out, you know what I mean? And this whole influx of like the small stomach and fat ass, it was kind of like, oh, you know, I got a fat ass, but it could be a little bigger. Oh, my stomach could be a little bit smaller. So I feel like initially it didn't start out as insecurities, but then when you look at what society is deeming beautiful, it's like you create these insecurities yourself. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're pushed on you. Like, I don't know. So, I mean, for me, it's just kind of like yes or no. Yes and no.
Yeah, I've struggled with body imagery issues for a long ass time, since like high school. Actually, like freshman year was when I really noticed I was different, and I hated it. Like, I was like, probably even younger than that, but I remember being like, why the fuck do I got titties? Like, and I know it's not just because I'm fat. Like, I know it's not just because I'm fat.
You wasn't really fat. Like, you was more so chunky freshman year.
That's what I'm saying.
So, Makita, backstory, me and Dre went to high school together in Portland.
Okay, I was about to say, like, y'all know.
If you wondering where I know him, yeah. We went to high school together. He used to make me CDs. He used to burn me CDs and shit like that back in the day. Yeah, I mean,
I know the type.
He was really nice. He was really sweet, really nice, but he just had the other side of him that was like, it could go left real fast if that's where you wanted it to go. So we went to high school.
Are you a Gemini?
No, I'm a Virgo.
Same shit.
So yeah, I feel like you was just more so like chunky. I don't know. I don't feel like you was like you had titties. Like, I feel like he was just kind of.
I got him.
No, you did.
I had him. I was just, but see, that was the thing. Like, people didn't know because I used to layer up. Like, I got to a point where I started getting compression shirts and then, you know, talking to other guys at school that dealt with it. They did, like, a lot of the athletes used to wear compression shirts and do this and do that and do this. And like, I used to, like, one of the things that used to trip me out is when people used to like why you wear basketball shorts under your pants? And I used to be like, because it's the look. And it's like, but no, it's because I was trying to cover up. You know, I was trying to cover up, trying to make myself look thinner, but I was just making myself look fatter by putting fucking basketball shorts
But see, that's what I always wondered though. Like, do you think that, or were those issues that you feel like were projected on you? Or like you created them yourself?
I would say,
like, or somebody, like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I would say it's both. I think it's both. Because I mean, high school was a horrible time for me. Because I think for me, the teasing was like something that I did not like that shit. And that's why I used to always be in my shell. Like, don't fuck with me. Because the moment you do, I'm going to end up killing or doing something I shouldn't do. So
flipped.
I'm glad you changed what you were saying because the Fed's watching.
Right.
Hell yeah, the ops is out here.
Right. So I had to, it got to a point where I was like, man, like, let me just stay in my shell in my own little world because, and I have my own little group of friends who did the same exact shit as me as far as like trying to cover themselves up. But so, yeah, I've always realized like since I was younger that I've had these body imagery issues. And as I got older, it got worse. And then once I came out, it changed. It like, and I think also just socially things change for you too as you get older. So like I got really tough into like powerlifting around 22, 23, where I started going to the gym a lot and lifting heavy weights and getting buff, but still having the man titties. Like was like, okay, something's wrong with me. And so then I found out that I might have gynecomastia, and then like realizing like that in itself is a cosmetic surgery. So I have to pay a lot of money to get that fixed. And then like it just became like this whole like down spiral of like depression on me because I was like, I don't have $5,000 to give for a surgery, and then getting the surgery and it's probably even worse. Like it's probably even more like disgusting looking. So now I'm not gonna want.
But and once you start that, you can't like stop. You get addicted to like plastic surgery.
Yeah. So I was just like, man, I went through all these consultations and this is, mind you, like I said, I was like 21 when I started going to consultations and like trying to find people to like, okay, can I get a doctor to like sign off on my insurance so I can get it? Like, I don't understand why it's so hard to like get something that could be affecting me mentally, you know, my mental health state. Like, because I think what people didn't realize for me, actually have a friend who is trans and they went from female to male, and they were telling me how like, oh, like I've always felt like, you know, my body felt feminine. And I was like, I can relate, because it was like having man boobs made me feel like, it made me feel feminine. It made me feel like there was something that's not supposed to be there. Like that's supposed to be a woman's trait. Like that's supposed to be for women. That's not supposed to be for me. Like, so in my mind, I used to be like, I would trip out about it. Like anytime somebody would say something about it or touch me there, I would get mad. And then it was that one thing that clicked. I found people that started liking them. Sorry,
I'm not listening.
I shouldn't get too deep, but I started finding people who was like, no, I like that shit. Like that shit's hot. Like I'm attracted to that. And so like then I'm like, okay, cool. So I started taking my shirt off at the pool parties. I model for a underwear company called Bearskin. So I take my shirt off everywhere now. Like I was hiking yesterday, I took my shirt off. Like it was just like, it kind of liberated me in a sense of like seeing someone liking something that I don't like. So it gave me that confidence to be like, well, they're there. So at the end of the day, like, what can I do? Either I could go get surgery now, or I could just live with what I got, you know?
And you know what's so crazy is that, like, you said that it took like somebody else liking you to kind of liberate you instead of you just being able to liberate yourself. Like, that's what's so crazy about it, is that like the mind is really like, it's like really a mental game. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like we really be trapped in our own fucking thoughts, and it takes an outsider to come in and be like, you know what? You know, you beautiful, but it's like, I want to say that it shouldn't be that way, because we should be able to validate ourselves and be able to feel like, you know what I mean, we're good about ourselves. But again, it's like a lot of shit just be projecting, and it's like, it's a lot. Like I know for me, like growing up, my mom was always really into like my weight. So like every year, every summer, like she would make me get on a scale and be like, I'm not having any fat daughters. You know, I'm not going to feed you guys because you guys are just getting fat. Like it was really on some wild shit. Like I remember one time I went to the doctor's office and she was like, we was really in a stare down. Like you ever see that meme with like Diddy and that dude at that American contest when they looking back at each other and they just blinking? Like that's how we was. Like I'm like 11 years old at the doctor's office, and she's like, get on this scale, and I'm just looking at her like, sis, no, I'm not getting on this fucking scale. Get on. I'm like, no, because like I'm 11 years old and here you are chastising me about my weight that I ain't even really hit puberty yet. Like, god damn. And I feel like since then, like I used to be like 11 years old doing Taibo. Like, I don't even know if people know what Taibo is, but like back in the day, like listen, I used to be like, I used to be taking diet tea. Like, I used to be taking diet tea because she was always so focused on my weight. Like, and still to this day, my mom is definitely like a fat shamer for sure. But like as a young girl, like, yo, leave me the fuck alone. like leave me in the fuck alone. So that's why I say like a lot of that shit is like projected on us. Like, you know, like I would have had no idea that like I wasn't even fat. Like I wasn't even, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't anything. I was a regular ass little 11-year-old girl, but because she put that cautiousness in me to always be looking at my body, and to that shit just carried on. You know what I mean? It just carried on throughout the life. Like,
it's not like your mom also probably struggled with that.
And my mom absolutely did struggle with weight. It was always crazy how she was so fascinated with my weight, but here she is fat and obese, you know, like, so it always just crazy. But I feel like it was almost her way of not wanting me to become what she became, you know. But it's like, it's a terrible thing to be telling your child at like 11, like, you're fat, I'm not feeding you, you're getting too big, I'm not gonna have any fat daughters. Like, that shit is detriment. Like,
detriment as fuck.
Terrible. You know what I mean? Like, fucking terrible. So, yeah.
But now that you say that, I was going to ask too, like, what influences you think makes those negative thoughts in our heads, like body positive? Like, how do you think it affects body positivity, like the movement itself? Because I think when you think about the body positive movement itself, like, it's an actual good movement, but like, people make that shit look so bad now. Like, well, I will say some of the commercials that I see, I'm just like, this is kind of bad. It's a bad commercial. And then it kind of like, what's the word I'm trying to find? It kind of gives people ammo that already has these negative thoughts about bigger people in their heads. Because I was looking at a commercial like a month ago, and this lady was like doing something, like this old like big lady was doing something, and she was like eating a burger with like soda falling on top of her or some shit like that, and it was like celebrate all types of bodies or something like that. And I was like, wait, no. But I'm sorry to bring that up because it really diverts away from what I was asking. But like, you know, I think that there's so many negative things that happen that gives people these thoughts to like jab at us, and then also in our heads we think like, oh, I don't want to be like that. Because I see some people sometimes, like, okay, for instance, Lizzo. I love fucking Lizzo, fucking dope woman, dope as fuck, and I'm all for like being naked and wearing what you want to wear. But there were some times where I'm like, sis, like, okay, I'm all for it, but like
but calm down.
This
like,
outfit,
calm down.
This outfit was not cool, not because you big, it's just that this one was like, it looks sloppy on you. Just like, because I feel like everything don't go with everybody. Just like me, like, I'm very conscious on what I wear. Like, everything don't go with you. Like, it's just that simple. I know there's some colors that don't go with my skin tone, so I don't like to wear them.
I literally was just looking up today because I seen this on TikTok. Keeb's body type. It's like, I think it's 10, but I don't know, 13 is popping on my mind. It's like 10 different body types. And with those body types, you're supposed to like, it's supposed to help you know like what clothing goes best with your body type. But a lot of people are warning, like, you need to be able to be comfortable with your body in order to even dive into like what your body type is. Cause it can be triggering if you feel like one is more superior than the other and you realize like, but that ain't my body type. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah, that is a real thing. Yeah. Like, dress for your body.
I also think like pretty privilege is a real fucking thing too, though. Like, I think I've realized when I, like, for instance, when I lost my first 60 pounds and I was stacked with muscle. When I tell you the dating app, the gay apps I have, it's just bling, 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 bling. Every time I got on, it was a message from somebody. Or I'll go out to a bar and I'm getting hit on. And I know it's just because they want to fuck. They don't really want to like hang out and date. They just want to fuck. And I fall for it because, you know, that's just what it is. But like, I realize like when you do look a certain way, you do get certain looks. You do get certain like people only care about you because you look a certain way. That's the only time they want to validate you is when you are at your best. Cause like when I started gaining the weight back, shit, I was, you know, messing messages.
That's real shit. And that's what I was saying earlier in terms of like my shape and being curvy and shit like that. I feel like I get a lot of shit based on just the way that I'm shaped. Like, you know what I mean? Being for real. Like a lot of people, and I know like going way further than that, like dark skin versus light skin debate, and people like always right. But I always tell people, I'm like, you know, even with me being dark skinned, if niggas think I'm ugly off bat, they gonna still fuck me because of my shape. Like off bat, like they like I'm still gonna I'm still gonna get what I want to get just because of my shape. So they could think I'm ugly as hell, but it could be like, oh, but she got a fat ass though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like pretty privilege is a thing, and like body privilege, like it's for real. And I feel like I always hear this movement about body positivity, and I know it's like the whole push of like, oh, loving yourself, loving the body that you have. But I always am weary on it because I want people to still be mindful of like, yes, you can love the body that you came in, but you still need to be like healthy. You know what I mean? Because diseases are like still real. Like heart disease still affects African American women. Like it's so follow the body positive movement like that. But I hope that there's a message in it that's telling women to be healthy.
It's just,
you know, it's like being big and being fat or whatever the case may be is cool.
Yeah, by you saying that, I'm thinking about like I remember when Monique lost all that fucking weight. Like, I remember when she was big, used to be like, skinny bitches is evil, blah, 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 blah. And then she took like a month off and started losing all this weight. She got so much fucking hate from people because she changed her body. Like, she started like, I need to be healthy.
It's crazy.
And she started losing weight and started looking better. And like, you know, she looked good. And like, people literally were hating on her and telling her like, she's a hypocrite and she's this and she's that. And like, I can see where some people are coming from with it, from an emotional side of it. Like, but at the same time, it's like, she was trying to motivate her fans. Like, hey, like, you can only be big for so long. Like, we gotta, you know.
Misery loves company, though, you know.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, but I think about that all the time. I think also, too, when it comes to the body positive movement and the word healthy, is that I think a lot of people don't want to do the work. I feel like people find excuses for everything too. Like, I remember one time I was getting into a debate with someone about airplane seats and shit, and they was like, oh, like, it's just so bad that they don't have bigger seats for like, you know, for plus size people and blah blah blah. And I was like, do you know what that would go into? Like, you would probably have to pay more money for the seat, because I mean, as already you have to pay more. You got to pay for first class to have more leg room. So just imagine them having to put in bigger seats for bigger people. It's a business. Like, they're not caring about
They would have to rearrange the fucking. They would have
they got to make a whole different
plane.
Yeah,
like they got to design the plane differently. My nigga, like only 3 seats can fit in a row. Like, and that's the thing though, where it's like the whole body positive movement and just like a lot of these movements out here. It's like they're forcing inclusion and they're forcing it shit, but it's like you have to be realistic in some aspects of like, dog, we can't design a new plane. Like, we can't design a new plane. We just
no situations. I don't still feel like people should have to like lose weight to, you know, to catch a plane. They just have to be cautious of like, you're not going to be comfortable on that plane, buddy, going somewhere.
Yeah, right.
You know, you
got to be mindful. You got to be mindful of your size. That's like, hell, that's just like you said, it's just people putting on clothes that they shouldn't have on. It's like, you know, you got to be mindful of all of that shit, and it just comes with the territory, you know, like yeah.
So, but okay, my next question is like, do you feel like race plays a part in how your body is viewed as well, though? Like, like as far as how society sees black women, you know, or black men in a sense too. Do you feel like race plays a big part? Absolutely.
Like, yeah, like it going to like slavery and like, you know, the early days, black women were like kind of lusted at for their bigger butts, big old butts, as Monica is talking about. And even like just the lips and noses, all those things. And hair, that's part of your body. It always cracks me up when someone from another race is like, oh man, I wish I could, you know, do that, or like, and I'm like,
hair.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I wish my hair could do that. Like, girl,
hey, girl, no, you don't. You really don't wish it could do that. Like,
yes, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I feel that way.
Or like, I could never wear that type of lipstick, or you know, just little things.
Yeah, I feel that way. Like,
but I think that even though race is a thing, I do think that Black women's bodies are the blueprint. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of people want what we have, because it's even like when I see like thick ass white women, although your shape is crazy, you're still a white woman.
Exactly.
So like it doesn't excite me. It's not like, oh my God, but if I see a same Black woman with a big, I'm gonna be like, God damn, look at her, she's thick as shit. But like, it's like white women can have all of this shit and even other races, and it's still just like, like,
okay, that's cool. Like, that's dope.
That's cool, girl. But it doesn't, it's nothing, because we know what the original is. You know what I mean? Exactly. We know these big lips and these noses and shit came from Black people.
Exactly. I even think about me as a gay man, like even in my own community, like how fetishized Black men are. Like, I mean, you just can just imagine the amount of I've never had BBC type of messages I get all the time from white men who hit me up, and not just the white boys.
Big black cock?
Yeah. I get that all the time.
Big black cock?
Yes. I was like, people talk like that? Like, oh shit.
They do. And it's not just the white boys though. It's some Latinos in there, some Asians, some white passing ones, you know, and it's probably one of the most annoying things ever. Just like, I mean, the gay community in itself is sex driven. A part of it is sex driven. So in those spaces where I'm looking for that, you know, you often get that fetishization of Black men heavily. It's like, and they only want to, I've never had BBC before, or I've never hooked up with a Black guy before. And it's like, bro, like, do you really think that's going to get you in the door? Like, you could have just said, hey, man, you're hot. Like, let's fuck. And I probably would have been like, yeah, let's go. But like, you telling me that you never had a Black man before, it's not going to be like, oh my God, he's never had a Black guy before. Let me be the one. Let me be the one.
Oh my God,
I got some BBC for you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do that. And it's funny. It's so weird that it happens so often. And I'm not going to don't get me wrong. There's been cases like, because I live in Portland, Oregon. Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'm just do it. I'm just got to get my nut, you know? But it's probably one of the most annoying fucking things that happens here. That's why I've been like so debating, like, man, I'm not getting any younger. Maybe I should probably move. Maybe I should get out of here and see a different part of the world and like see different people. But and not just because of that situation, but
I would say they still gonna be after that BBC, no matter where you go.
Not just because of that situation, but multiple things. But like one of those things that, like I said, just one of those things that I struggle with dealing with here is just that, in a sense. And then just my body, like I hate when people don't ask to touch me, or like, hey, can I, you know, like, why are you touching me? Why are you? My shirt's off, but that doesn't mean you get to touch my stomach or anything, bro. Like, you don't get to touch me like that just because you think I'm hot. Like, there's a way that people just fetishizes Black men that is kind of annoying, especially in settings like here where it's just like we all kicking it, hanging out. I could be with my good friend somewhere and we all kicking it, we all shirtless and we just drinking, having fun. And then next thing you know, somebody's like sticking their hand around my waist and shit. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
that's crazy. I've never heard. I never thought that men had to deal with that, like in any sense. Because as a woman, like you always are dealing with someone like touching you unnecessarily, uninvited, like all the time. So I don't want to say it's good because I hate that anybody has to experience it, but it's new to hear that men go through it too.
Because I think in the gay community itself, though, it's just like that's because how sex driven it is. It's like people think it's not. It's consent is out the window. They think that's what it is. And it's like, oh yeah, no, bitch.
You gotta tell them it's a policy.
Yeah, like, no, bitch. Like, I don't play that. Don't touch me. Like, I don't know you. So that doesn't give you the right to touch me or touch anything on my body unless I say yes. Like, and
that's crazy.
It's one of the worst things in this community that happens. I was just out with a friend last night, or not last night, but on Saturday, and he had like a chain with a lock on it, and a guy had like a key ring on his earring, and he walked up to my friend and started touching his lock, and my friend was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you touching me? Why the fuck are you touching me? And he's like, he just kept going for it. He's like, dude, stop. Like, I just said to you, why are you touching me? Like, like people don't have this, and I don't know if it's just the liquor.
Boundaries. I think it's maybe boundaries, and I think men. It's interesting though because like men are always taught about consent. You know what I mean? Of like no means fucking no, but it's interesting to hear that in the gay community with you. It just seems to not be a thing of like they forget. Maybe it seems that consent only applies to women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it should apply to y'all too. Like, goddamn, back up.
All right. But yeah, I do race. I don't know. It's a weird thing when it comes to race and how our bodies are viewed. I mean, you think about like basketball players and shit, like being a certain fucking height and a certain weight. I mean, that's probably logistics for the game, but like seeing how like some things happens before, like at the Columbines and things of that sort, it just always feels weird to me. Like people try to make excuses for it, but it just always feels weird to me when I look at the Columbines and I watch like these players getting like measured, and like it just always feels weird.
Like back to the auction. It's like back to the auction days.
It feels uncomfortable for me, and I know, like I said, I know it's for the logistics of the sport and how this person is going to be a potential, great player in the sport. But like, still, it just feels weird. And I just don't understand why it has to be televised. Like, why, to a degree, because it just really feels fetishy. And then on top of that too, within my community, you have like these people who like to do like, like I talked about fetishization and all this stuff, like race play and like all this shit. Like you got to be a certain you got to be a certain weight, a certain height. You got to be like this type of black person to like, I don't want to get too deep into it.
Nah, but like, what's funny is that like even though you're speaking that from like the LGBT community, like just imagine the other, not communities, but the other sections of life that it plays into, because people also don't talk about jobs. Like people don't talk about jobs and how people are like body-isms or whatever with certain jobs. Like people won't hire you based on, what you weigh or what you look or your ability to do this and do that. So it's like body issues really
affect so many
cover
areas.
It's not just in the relationship of one-to-one. It's like your job, like your fucking just everything.
It's how you upkeep yourself too. I realized that because a friend of mine at my old job, he was telling me how like he remembered that he kept going for this position over and over and over, knowing he knew the position really well. And he was like, when I started doing like my weight loss, I got a trainer and started losing weight, and I started getting more compliments from the supervisors, and the supervisors wanted to work with me more, and like I started getting this attention. And then once I got the position, he was like, at that point I didn't want it, so I went to a different job, because it was like once I got offered the position, I didn't want it because I went to a different job, because he was like, that's when I realized like it was my look, it was my image. And I was like, oh wow, like I didn't think that even existed within the workplace. I thought it was more like hair or skin color, but I didn't realize that your body image was a big thing until
just look at places that are at like bartenders, like what I mean, like bottle girls. When you see a plus size bottle girl,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
that's true. That is very fucking true. That is.
What do y'all?
I seen fit girls.
That is very true.
I ain't seen no Lizzo size bottle girls.
That is very true. Thinking about that, even like shit, when you think about the girls that be on the boxing matches and they be holding up the numbers, those girls too. Damn. Okay, yeah. See, now we could talk about a whole bunch of shit.
What y'all think about? Y'all have seen those teachers that have like their jobs were in danger because they were like more curvaceous and they would dress a certain way, and the parents were all in an uproar about it. What do y'all think about those types of situations?
It's a catch-22 for me. One is because they can't help that. They can't help that they were born with those hips and all that stuff. And I don't want to tell somebody go cover up better or go wear something baggier or go wear something over the size, But at the same time, I'm just like, damn, is that all you got? Like, have you tried to find
all the clothes you got?
Have you tried to find anything else? Like, like,
That's so funny.
And I'm not saying you have to, because I don't think that their job should be up for like, grabs because of the way they dressed. But it's just like, back to being mindful. Like, you're walking in a space. Boys, the thing about it too is boys are going to be boys. Boys are going to be boys. Like, no matter what.
I'm tired of the onus being placed on like women to dress a certain way so they don't invite the attention of men. And it's like,
boys are going to be boys. I was fucking Monica. Do you remember Mr. Garcia? I should have said his name, but do you remember Mr. Garcia from Jeff?
What period?
He was I know he was like the science teacher or something. There's the big dude with the big old butt.
Nah, was I there?
You have to be there. It was sophomore year.
It was sophomore year.
Yes, you was going after sophomore year, right?
Yeah, I left after sophomore year.
Yeah, so this was like literally CDAP era, all that, like all that era. But anyways, Mr. Garcia used to like bend over on his table in these tight ass pants on, and my gay ass would just stare at his ass for the longest time, and nobody. I hope he don't see this, but Mr. Garcia used to.
I don't know. I'm like, I gotta remember him. I gotta remember him.
He had cakes.
Oh man, I feel like I blocked out half of high school.
And he used to, every time we would be in study hall. I used to be in his study hall class, and we used to be in there. And he would just be bent over, and I'm just like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, why do you have this much cake for a man? Like, I don't understand. Why is it so big? My gay ass would be sitting there just like, oh, okay, yeah. Anyways, so I'm just saying, like, it's stuff like that. Like, and then like when you think about even men who dress nice and look good and look attractive, you don't think little girls be looking at these teachers and having crushes on them too?
I was one.
So that's why I kind of like, even though it's a catch-22 for me, I still understand like it's not cool that these women have to go through that, because it's like they shouldn't have to go through that. I'm tired of people using the kids for everything. Stop using these.
I know, because it's a lot of projecting. Nah, it's not. But I feel like even in terms of the kids, of them being so concerned about like, oh, the kids are going to see that. I feel like people project this shit on kids. Kids be fucking worried about stickers and McDonald's. Okay. Like they don't be sitting here worrying about. Yeah, like they don't sexualize people. Like that's us making them sexualize.
Exactly,
like,
because the people that do that say about, oh, the kids, oh my God, the kids are the same people who probably was one that little nasty ass kid that had a crush on their teacher or was watching gay porn or something from like something. Had to be something.
And it's like the world is advanced. Like there's Instagram, there's all these social media. So it's like, I know that kids are growing up faster. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It don't take your teacher having a booty for you to have a crush on them either.
Okay.
Let's be clear.
Exactly. Because it takes more than that. It could be the way the teacher talk to you, the way they, treat you. All that.
People just got to stop.
Teachers.
People just got to stop policing our bodies. Everybody.
Exactly.
Men too. Men and women. Don't police nobody's body. Worry about yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. I really love this show. I'm so happy to have you guys on here again. It was nice to meet you finally.
I know. It's nice to have her back. Shout out to her for dropping a baby and coming back.
And y'all show,
she never missed a beat.
I just gotta say, y'all show is bomb. Like y'all be going in, and I really do listen. Like you
be listening?
Yes, I'm dead ass. Like I don't just be like, oh, just have y'all on because y'all podcasters. I actually listen to your show. I'm an active listener. So like y'all really got a good show, and I really enjoy it.
Thank you. We try. I'm glad to have half of my city girl back.
I'm glad to be back.
All right, y'all want to give any shout outs? You want to like plug your page, anything like that?
Oh, for sure. Y'all, you can catch up with us on Twitter at Chicken Sex Degrees. No, I know eating chicken. On Instagram at Chicken Sex Degrees. We have some merchandise, and you can purchase that on our website at www.chickensexdegrees.com.
Hey.
And you can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hey, Monica, anything?
No, shit. She said it all.
You did tell her to
to take the lead. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Y'all know where to follow me at, which is Bubba's Banter Podcast. Also follow my personal, which is The Real Doc Dre. And also follow my Facebook page, which is Bubba's Banter. I really like using that. The interface on there is very, very friendly, and I just use it more frequently than anything other than Instagram. I will keep you guys on notice about my website. I have a whole revamping of my show coming up. I'm trying to transition it into video eventually, but it's so expensive, so I've been trying to like save up for equipment and studio space. So we'll see what's going to happen. So
he said, I am DIY.
Yes,
I know that's right.
Bubba the Builder.
Yes, I take pride in it. I love building my shit up from the ground up. And then once I build it up from the ground up, then I'm like, okay, let me build a team. Let me put some people on. That way, I don't.
Okay, Franklin.
Yeah. Hey, I just finished the episode, the last episode last night, and I was very disappointed. I was gonna make a TikTok about it. Yes, I was pissed off.
Where else was it supposed to go though? Like,
I mean,
I feel like it was headed there.
It was in a way, but I just feel like out of all the people, like, why did he have to end up like that? He got betrayed the most. Like,
oh, you one of them people.
Yes, I was Team Franklin from the day he started.
No, absolutely Team Franklin, but then he started wilding. Like his downfall was imminent because he started wilding.
He did, but I was pissed off at Louis too, because I really, at the beginning of the season, the first season, I loved Louis. I was like Team Louis all day.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just got like weird and like betraying. Like, nah, I'm good.
All right, I gotta watch this damn show.
Yeah,
clearly.
You never watched Snowfall? Yeah.
Oh.
I've watched like maybe 4 episodes in the first season.
I'm not gonna say nothing else then. I'm sorry.
The first season,
I like spoilers.
You just gotta push through. You gotta push through the first season because it is a little. You just gotta push through.
I had to push you through too, so yep.
I'm gonna go watch it.
Okay. All right, y'all.
Monica's gonna be done with it by next week because that's what she.
Then I'm gonna be texting her.
She's gonna be texting both of us like, "Oh my God.
Like, oh my God!" Like, I know. I'm terrible.
Like, I remember what happened in season 2. I don't.
Exactly. I actually I told myself that I was gonna go back and rewatch it all and then just have a whole like review about it, just because it was really good. It was a really good show.
It is. Yeah, you'll enjoy it, Monica.
All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. So.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.